Hi everyone! So in today's class, this is specifically designed for postnatal women, but if you're also looking at working your core area, you can also try out this class. So for postnatal women or after giving birth, there's always a lot of talk with diastasis recti or diastasis recti, or that split and the abs. So when I have this conversation with women, I always ask them, why would you want to close it, or what is the objective? Okay. But if it's more bringing awareness, then try out this set of poses that you can use or that you can do as often as you like. Okay. So what you'll need in class, you'll need a soft ball. Okay, so this is actually a gym ball. If you don't have this, if you have any toy ball, you can use that. Or you can even use a rolled up towel or a blanket, which we can use or you can bring in between the legs. And we will also use our blocks for class. So enjoy. So you'll grab your ball and a block, and then you'll go ahead and lie down on your mat. Okay. Now, if this is your first time to do postnatal work, make sure you can grab a blanket if this does not feel comfortable for your back. Otherwise, just settle here first, and then you can do a few pelvic tilts until you find what feels comfortable for your lower back. Okay. And then once you're there, just hold on to the ball, and then you'll just connect to your breath. So you slowly lengthen the inhale, and then slowly lengthen the exhale. And then you can do this a few times. And then when you're ready, using the ball, we'll place the ball between the inner thighs. Okay, so it can be a soft ball, maybe your child's toy ball. And then press the palms down, and then you'll go ahead and give it a few squeezes. Okay, so you'll just squeeze your inner thighs towards the ball, and then release. Squeeze the inner thighs, and then release. So go ahead, do that a couple of times, and then see how that feels for your legs, for your hips. And then bringing the attention to our core area, okay? Maybe especially at the lower belly. Okay. So why are we doing this? We want to feel that sensation of hugging in, okay? Not just at the legs, but also including the pelvic floor. Okay. So as you squeeze the thighs, see if you can connect, trying to lift up the pelvic floor. Okay. One more breath here. And then from here, we'll start adding. If that feels good, okay, we'll start adding. From here, just give the ball a gentle squeeze. Okay, so you will feel the inner thighs work. Lower belly is already starting to engage. Palms can press down. And then from here, we'll lift our feet up about an inch or half an inch off the mat. Okay. And then you can already feel the lower belly starting to work. Okay. See if you can draw in. So think about your zipper zipping up from the pelvis towards the ribs, hugging in as if the core is starting to brace. One more breath, and then exhale, slowly release. Okay. So see how that felt for the first round. Okay. And then I'll give another option. Okay. From here, so go ahead, squeeze that ball. Okay. And then as you inhale, you're going to float your feet up an inch or two off the mat. And if this feels quite intense at the lower belly or at your core muscles, you have the option to find the angle where you can hold the effort. Okay, maybe it might be lifting the feet up slightly higher. Feet can be flexed or toes can be pointing, whichever feels comfortable for your feet as you keep squeezing that ball. Okay, one more breath in, and then exhale, will release. Okay. Now, if that felt good, we'll start adding on. Okay, plant the palms down. Already activate the zipper. Okay, squeeze that ball. As you inhale, float the feet up. And then this time, we'll make it dynamic. Okay, you'll slowly start to lift your legs up so that your knees are bent to 90 degrees. See how that feels. And then maybe we can add a little bit of the hamstrings. Maybe we'll try to straighten the legs any amount towards the ceiling as you keep squeezing the ball. And then by this point, it might feel that your lower back is already pressing against the mat. Make sure that you're bracing. One more breath. And then from here, we'll take our time as we bend the knees to 90 degrees. And then slowly taking your time again as you lower the feet down. And then notice if you've lost squeezing the ball in between the thighs. Okay, one more set. As you inhale, float the feet up, slowly making your way to 90 degrees at the knees, and then slowly straightening the legs towards the ceiling. As you keep hugging the belly in, one more breath. And then from here, keep squeezing the ball as you bend back to 90 degrees. Keep the effort of squeezing the ball as you slowly maybe let the feet hover so you feel more the lower belly, and then you'll slowly lower down. Okay? And then give yourself maybe a breath or two to just relax. You can let go of the ball, maybe bring the feet as wide as your mat, and then just knock the knees together. Okay? And then stay here for as long as you need. Okay? So second round, okay, you'll still grab the ball. Okay, bring it in between the thighs. And then this time we'll start working on the twist. Okay? So you'll go ahead, you lift your feet up. Okay? Bring the knees to 90 degrees. Okay? Start squeezing that ball. Bring the arms out to a T. Keep squeezing the ball as you twist the legs. So lower down the legs to one side. In this case, I'm lowering down towards the right. And then see how this feels for the left side of your waist. Make sure your left arm is planting down. Keep squeezing the ball as you bring the legs back to center. Okay, inhale. Exhale, keep squeezing the ball as you slowly lower down towards the left. And then notice that I'm not dropping my legs. Okay, I'm letting it hover above the floor. Keep squeezing the ball. And notice also that it's sort of turning off and turning back on the squeezing effort. Come back to center. Hold here again, inhale. As you exhale, we'll twist again towards the right side. Okay. Keep squeezing the ball as you bring the legs back to center. Inhale. Exhale, we'll lower down the knees towards the left. Okay. Do this a couple of times. And then from here, we'll come back to center. We'll lower down the feet. Okay. If you need to give yourself a break, just stay here for a couple of breaths. Maybe bring the feet as wide as the mat and then knock the knees together. Now for that round in the twist, you have the option, if you feel comfortable, you can even include baby in your postnatal yoga practice. So how that will look like. So imagine this is baby. You can bring baby up, let the belly just rest on your shins. Make sure baby is anchored, and then you just twist any amount from side to side. Okay. So it won't be a very big twist when baby is on your shins. Okay. But notice the work is the same. And then once you find all of the effort at the twist, you'll slowly hold on to baby and then just let baby rest on your belly. Okay. So for this next round, okay, what you'll do is you'll bring the ball in between the thighs, okay? And then you'll go ahead, grab your block, and then we'll reach the block over the head. Okay? So the first two sets, even though we were just focusing on the lower belly, know that we are already working the whole core musculature. For this next round, we're going to focus on the upper abs. So from here, you'll reach the hands over the head, okay? And then bring your feet hip width apart, and then start to squeeze that ball, okay? And then let your toes point forward, okay? So remember, you're hip width apart to what feels like hip width apart for you at the moment. Okay? And then activate the legs, squeeze the ball between the thighs. And then your hands, let your hands reach over the head, and then let your palms press against the block. So we're going to anchor first the lower half of the body, press the feet down. And then as you inhale, go ahead and lift the block up, maybe just an inch or half an inch or 2 inches above the floor. hold here, and then notice that you'll start to feel the upper abs starting to engage. And then see how that feels for you. If that's already a lot, then lower down. Okay. And then when you're ready, as you inhale, zip up, lift the block up. And then if this feels good for you, we'll start to lift the head up, and then maybe lift the shoulders away from the mat. And then notice, when you start to lift the shoulders away from the mat, notice if you've lost squeezing the ball in. One more breath. I'm already starting to shake. And then exhale, we'll slowly lower down. So notice how that felt for your neck. If it felt uncomfortable for the neck, an option is to interlace the fingers behind the head. Okay. And then same efforts, keep squeezing the ball. Okay, plant the feet down. And then as you inhale, you'll start to lift the head up, lift the shoulders away from the mat, maybe lift the upper back away from the mat. Okay. And then notice if squeezing the ball was turning off. Pressing the thighs together, one more breath. And then exhale, will slowly release. Okay. So choose which one is accessible for you, either fingers interlaced behind the head or reach the hands over the head with a block. Okay. And then from here, we'll start to add. Okay. As you inhale, zip up, brace at the belly, float the block up, lift the head up, lift the shoulders up, maybe upper back peels away from the mat. And then from here, squeeze the block. And then maybe we can start to float the feet up. Hold here and breathe. One more cycle. And then as you exhale, we'll slowly lower down. Okay. And then you can do that a couple of times. Maybe make it dynamic. As you inhale, you lift up, squeeze the ball, exhale, lower down. Maybe just let it hover rather than touching the floor. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then notice as you come up, activating that zipper. Breathing here. Maybe 2 more rounds. 1 more cycle. Maybe we'll do a hold here. Keep squeezing the ball. 1 more breath, reaching the block. And then exhale, we'll slowly lower down. And then we'll set the block off to the side. Maybe just hold on to the ball. Feet can be as wide as the mat, and then knock the knees together. Okay. Breathing here. 1 more breath in. Okay. And then from here, we'll start to sit up. Okay. Grab your block. You can roll over to one side. Okay. And then slowly press yourself up to seated. Okay. And then what we'll do, we'll bring the legs in front. Okay, bring the legs in front. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and bend the knees. Okay. So from here, you can keep the ball between the inner thighs. Okay. And then maybe for this round, hold on to the backs of the legs. Okay. So what you want, tendency is for us to really round the back here. But what you want is for your chest to reach forward and up so that your spine will be nice and long. Okay. So still same efforts at our belly when we were lying down. Find the zipper, brace, hold on to the backs of the leg, squeeze the ball. And then from here, we'll just find, you can find a baby boat, maybe just big toes on the mat, and then see how that feels first. Okay. If this is already a lot, then just stay here. Focus on hugging in and then bracing. Or maybe, if it's accessible, maybe float half an inch or 2 away from the mat. Maybe bring the knees a little bit higher, the feet a little bit higher. Hold here. And then exhale, we'll slowly release. We'll slowly lower down. Okay, from here, we'll do that again. Bring the legs in front. Okay, we'll bring the ball in between the thighs. Find that effort of squeezing the ball. Find that effort of bracing. Option to hold behind the thighs. Lift the chest up, inhale. And then as you exhale, you lean back. Maybe just come up to your big toes, or maybe float the legs up a little bit higher. Okay, and then if it's accessible, you even have the option to let go of the legs, or maybe straighten the legs as much as you can. But then notice if you start to lift higher, if you're starting to round. So what we want to prioritize is to lift the chest up, keeping the spine nice and long. Focus on bracing, one more breath. And then exhale, will slowly lower down. Then you can give yourself a break. Now you also have the option to have baby involved in the shape or in the pose. What you can do, okay, again, have baby rest on your shins. Just make sure that your baby's already able to lift his or her head up, having the strong neck muscles already established. So just hold on the baby underneath the armpits, okay, and then you can just lean back any amount. Okay. And then maybe rocking baby, lifting the legs up and down. Okay. So this is one option if you want to take that, and then you'll slowly rock back. Okay. And then you'll slowly lean back with baby resting on your shins, and then holding here for as long as you can, and then exhale, you'll slowly lower down. Okay. And then of course you can give baby a hug, and then you have the option to just bring baby beside you, and then we'll continue on with our practice. So for this last pose, you'll set your ball to the side, and then we'll find a tabletop position. Okay. So we did our core work on our back, doing core work seated, and then this time we'll do core work from tabletop. Okay, so spread the fingers wide. Bring your knees underneath the hips to what feels like hip-width apart. And then similar efforts, so already start to hug the belly in, activate that zipper, and then notice from this shape if you're starting to drop the head. Okay, so we want to press the back of the head towards the ceiling, push away from the mat. We'll tuck the toes, and then as you inhale, you just lift the knees up an inch off the mat. Okay. And you might feel this a lot on the hands, especially if this is the first time. Again, remember the ball between the thighs, hold here, and then exhale, will slowly release. You have the option to use the ball if you like. Bring it in between the thighs, set up again for tabletop. Okay. Activate the shoulders, push away from the mat, activate the legs, squeeze that ball, tuck the toes, and then as you inhale, we'll start to lift up again. And then breathe here. Okay, so we're starting to learn to carry our own body weight again. Breathing in and out of the nose. Maybe pressing down more on the fingertips. One more breath. And then exhale, slowly lower down. So you can do that a couple of times. And then when you're ready, okay, we'll bring the big toes together. And then you'll slowly come down to child's pose. Okay. Lower down the head. And then just let the shoulders relax. Stay here for as long as needed. One more breath in. And then from here, when you're ready, you'll slowly come up. Connecting with the breath again. Namaste. So I hope that was very helpful for you, and I hope that created a lot of awareness in the belly area, the core musculature area. And then you can always play around, maybe do lower belly first, do the upper ab work, and then maybe do it together and then alternate with the 5 poses that we did. So I would like to thank you for watching. This is EverYoga by Jo and Daya, sharing everyday yoga for everybody.